Hey guys, in this video we're going to work on simplifying expressions, and there's a couple different ways to look at expressions. You can simplify with combining like terms, you can simplify with distributing, you can simplify with FOILing. So I'm going to go through an example of each in this video. Another thing to stress is simplifying is done when doing expressions, and expressions do not have equal signs. So notice how there's no equal sign here, there's no equal sign there. You shouldn't end with something like x equals a number because you're just simplifying. Simplifying means you're taking the equation and you're making it smaller. So in this case, we have a whole bunch of values and we want to simplify. So we want to combine like terms. And when you combine like terms, you're a like term if you have the same variable and the same exponent. So you're going to look around and say, hey, this is an x squared. Is this an x squared? No, they're not like terms. Is this an x squared? No, they're not like terms, but these are both x's. So these are like terms. This doesn't have an x, so that means it can't be matched up with x squared, but this has an x squared. So notice when I underline, oh, that should be a straight underline. I underline the sign with it because this is no longer now minus 2x. This is actually a negative 2x value. So what I'm going to do is take all my underlines because x squared and a negative 2x and pretend that I am adding and subtracting the numbers out front. It's unwritten that there's a 1 out front of here, so I have 1x squared. Then I'm taking away 2x squares, so you should be left with a negative 1x squared. Here I have 5 x's. I add 7 x's, so I have a total of 12 x's. And then here doesn't have a partner, so I just put minus 7. So that's how you combine like terms. Now we're going to go into distributing. Now remember, we're always going to combine like terms at the end if we distribute and we get like terms. So distributing is always symbolized normally with those arrows. So if you have a number next to parentheses and the parentheses have 2 terms inside of it, you have to multiply, because remember it's unwritten that this is multiplication, this number to both of the terms in the parentheses. Why am I not multiplying it by this? Because plus 3 is hanging off the end. It's not in the parentheses. It's not saying multiply 2 by plus 3. So I have a negative 2 times a negative x. Negative times a negative is a positive. So that's positive 2x. And then I have a negative 2 minus a 2. So negative 2 times negative 2 is a positive 4. And then that 3 was hanging off on the side, so you throw it to the side. Follow like terms. Oh, we have a 4 and a 3. We can literally do 4 plus 3. We know that from elementary school. And so now you have a 2x plus 7. So we simplified this long thing into just 2 terms. And then the last thing we do is FOIL. So FOILing, first of all, is an acronym for the steps you take to do this. FOILing is when you have a 2-term thing multiplied. Again, remember multiplying is in between here. By another 2-term thing. So this is called a 2-term, so binomial times a binomial. You're going to think about this as you're going to distribute this 5x to both of these terms and this negative 3 to both of these terms. That's why we call it FOIL. You multiply the first terms, so 5x times 2x, so 5 times 2 is 10, x times x is x squared. First terms, you're going to multiply the outer terms, so 5x and a negative 5 is a negative 25x. Your inner terms, negative 3 and 2x, which is negative 6x. Remember, you're multiplying. And then your last term, so negative 3 times negative 5 is a positive 15. If you look at this expression, you see that there are 2 x's in the middle that can be combined. So we have a 10x squared. We have negative 25x's and we have minus 6x's, so that's a negative 31x plus the 15. And there's a quick example on how to FOIL.